So with the Genshin Impact 3.4 version, there are currently 61 characters in Genshin Impact. But which characters among them are the best, like SS tier characters, and which of them are like low tier characters? And yeah, in this video I'm going to rank all these characters, and it will be based on my opinion, because you know, your opinions might be different from mine, and it's totally fine, you know. So yeah, let's start this ranking. So in the left hand corner we have the tier list, which is the SS tier, the S tier. After that we can see the A tier, the B tier, the C tier and the D tier. So yeah, and this is all like just the SS tier is the best, and then the S tier, then the A tier, like that, you know. So yeah, let's start. So first we have Xingqiu. So I'll be really honest with you guys, like Xingqiu's sword attacks are really just average, you know. His elemental cooldowns are very long, and he's not very suitable to apply wet, as he's a hydro character who should be the most suitable. It's like he's not very good in applying wet, but still he has one plus point which I'll give him, that his passive skill is really useful because it heals your character. But still I'll just rank him on the B tier because I don't find him much valuable in my team or in the gameplays as well. Next we have Zhongli, definitely an SS tier character. I mean, is there any doubt that he is not just a good but a really great character in Genshin Impact? His buffs in both Geo abilities and Geo elemental resonance have drastically increased, and recently he also got the buff which increased his Geo elemental resonance. And of course, how can we forget his shield? Like, he has one of the best shield in the game, which makes him nearly invincible. So yeah, definitely an SS tier character. So next we have Fischl. Well, this princess of electro damage has some unique ability in my opinion, like spawning O's on the battlefield who deals extra damage. But still I believe that Fischl needs some constellations and talent upgrades to maximize her electro damage output, you know. And without it, she is not really good, but once you unlock some constellations and upgrade her talent, she can become a really decent character. So I will not put her on the S tier, as you have to unlock some constellations and talent upgrades first. So in my case, she will go in the A tier. Now we have Sayu, an Anemo Claymore user. Well, I would not say that she is a bad character, as with the case of most 4-star characters, Sayu struggles to stand out against characters like Ganyu or Diona, who are best in their classes. So if you did unlock Sayu and you want to use her, there are certainly team compositions where she could perform really well. So I would rank her on the B tier. And here comes our Traveler. Well, we all know that Traveler's biggest asset is the unique ability to change their elemental type. If your team really needs an Anemo, Geo, Electro or Dendro element, Traveler can help us out. But still, I think his normal sword attacks are not really damaging, but still he can fit in any team because we all know that he can use every element. I think in the current situation, he is just an C tier character, because I don't think he's much valuable right now, but maybe in the future he might be. So yeah. Okay, now we have Chi-Chi. Well, another C tier character. I will definitely put her in the same list as the Traveler, because Chi-Chi has a very high attack stat and her healing abilities are also decent, but the current meta has no place for healers, which means Chi-Chi's effective in later Spiral Abyss flows drops off significantly. So yeah, I think she's just like Traveler, a C tier character, you know. Okay, so now we have Shenhe, which is also a cryo support character if you don't know, because you know, to be honest, many people are confused if whether she is a DPS or she's a support or she is a sub DPS, you know, because not many players have Shenhe right now. And yeah, I admit that it's a little confusing, but her abilities primarily affect other cryo characters, and the main problem here is that the strong characters like Ganyu and Iela definitely don't need any help dealing damage, which means Shenhe is only helpful to lesser used cryo characters like Changhyun or other characters. So yeah, because of these points, I would rank her on the B tier. Okay, so next we have Hu Tao, who is personally one of my favorite character in the game. Her damage is really excellent, and she is a really great and useful DPS, and definitely from my perspective, there's no arguing that she is an SS tier character. Next we have Zhao. Well, now many people will rank him on the SS tier, but I would not do that, because yeah, he is a really strong character, I admit, and he deserves to be at the S tier, but by time he's getting out of the meta, because new characters like Kazuha and the Wanderer are better alternatives for Zhao. Well, many people say that she's a really underrated character, and many people don't admit that she's a great character. Well, yeah, she is a good character. I would say that she's a decent character. Still, Yoimiya can't easily run to the hardest part of Spiral Abyss without huge supports from her team. So while it can be done, it's just not optimal to say that she's an underrated character. But still, right now she's not buff, and she's an A tier character. Okay, now we have Yao Yao. again I would rank her on the A tier because her kit suggests that she may be useful in a support DPS role, but she works best when built as a healer. And yeah, there aren't many Dendro characters to pick from, so a healer is a must-have character from the Dendro side. Next we have Ningguang. Now we all know that she is the richest character in Teyvat, but still we all know that Geo characters are in a much needed damage boost from MiHoYo. So right now main characters including Ningguang need a damage boost. Until then, I guess Ningguang is a C tier character. Next we have Amber. Well, where to start? Amber's elementals has a long down, very low damage output and skills with her HP, and triggering the explosion manually takes ages, and her elemental burst and normal attacks are nothing special either. So yeah, you can use her for puzzles and exploration only, but as a character in combat, I think she is the one and only DTA character. But still, I love Amber. I like to explore with her. Next we have Clay. So Clay is the character which outshadowed Diluc when she came out, and as a catalyst user, she is very easy to build for maximum pyro damage, and she is really cute too, and definitely an S tier character. Okay, so next we have Xingqian. Well, to be honest, she is a decent character, and by no means a bad character, but she easily gets overshadowed by better Claymore and Pyro characters. So yeah, for those reasons, she's a B tier. Next we have Alhaitham, so who is definitely an S tier character, and it was expected, cause you know he is a good cryo character and who can be also a great DPS if you use him right. However, his abilities aren't overpowered enough to shift the meta. That's why he's not an SS tier character but an S tier character. Okay, so now we have Razor. So if you don't have any 5-star main DPS yet, Razor is your best option. I'm not gonna lie, he's one of the best Genshin Impact's melee fighter, and I personally love him too, cause before Hu Tao he was my first DPS character, but still, to be honest, he is very less useful when creating elemental reactions. Still, I would rank him on the A tier, cause you know he's the first DPS of many players. Okay, so now we have Aloy. Well, the community and especially me for not expecting a lot from Genshin Impact's first crossover character as a free character, you know. So Aloy appears to be an exception to this, as she is an excellent sub DPS option in the correct teams. And yes, you heard me right, she is an excellent sub DPS character. Don't listen to those rumors that Aloy is bad and she sucks and all that shit. She only has one drawback, which is her lack of constellations, but there's a chance that these could be introduced at a later date alongside Aloy's story quests. And for now, she's an C tier character. Okay, so next we have Ayaka. So unlike her brother Ayato, she's an SS tier character in my opinion, cause she can be built in a DPS role, but she can also fulfill the sub DPS role if necessary. So she's an all-rounder character. Okay, so next we have Kazuha, another SS tier character. Well, many fans, including me, were impressed by Kazuha because of his incredible versatility. He can just fit in any team comms. Like literally, he is so flexible that he can be teamed up with anyone, and he can also deal large amount of damage on his own too, which is really amazing. Not missing the part that he's good in exploration too. So yeah, all of these points definitely make him an SS tier character. So now we have the Dandelion Knight Jean, who is an A tier character in my opinions. Well, her base attack is on the lower side. Her versatility as an animo support and healer makes up to it. Next we have Kujusara. Well, she is undoubtedly one of the best awkward character in game due to her clunky moveset. As a DPS option, Sarva struggles to compete with the other 4-star characters, but still her abilities make her perfect in an electro party. So yeah, she's a decent B tier character in my opinion. Okay, so now we have Kokomi, which is of course an S tier character by ease, and she is also regarded as one of the most underrated Genshin character, as her banner sales on her release was really low, but still with the introduction of the Dendro element, Kokomi has exploded in popularity as she utilizes the new elemental reaction better than anyone. So now we have Mona, another S tier character. Well, I would say that she can protect your main DPS from taking too much damage by spawning her taunting phantom. She also has a special evasive ability, and how can we forget that her running animations were really top notch in attack. So now we have Beidou. Well, I would rank her on the C tier, and I'll be really honest with you, it can take ages before Beidou reaches her potential, and there are easier and better alternatives available like Razor. Okay, so now we have Rosaria. Well, she's an excellent detective, not gonna lie, and though Rosaria's damage output may not match the very best characters, her abilities are incredibly versatile, allowing her to slot into a variety of teams. Okay, so now we have Bennett, who is often regarded as a 6-star character, a secret 6-star character. Well, I don't know if he's a 6-star character or not, but definitely because of his versatility, I would definitely rank him on the SS tier. So now we have Yunjin. Yunjin. Well, there is a saying that characters that will the Geo element usually have the burden of having to assemble a Geo only team. Well, Yunjin destroys this notion as she heavily benefits from having a party with different elements. The only stipulation is that you need to use characters that primarily attack using normal hits only, and other than that, she's a really good character. And yeah, that's why I would rank her on the B tier. Now we have Tilog. Well, he used to be considered as one of the best DPS character thanks to his impressive base attack power and high crit rate damage, but by time he is overshadowed by many other characters who are a better version of him. And yeah, that's why in the earlier stages he was an SS tier character, but now he's moved to the A tier rank. And same goes for Venti, as he was also a SS tier character in beginning, but now because of Wanderer and Kazuha, he is overshadowed by those characters. But still, he's a really great anime character and we can still use him, and that's why I'm ranking him on the S tier. Okay, so now we have the latest Archon Nahida. I will definitely rank her on the SS tier, as Archon characters are usually some of the best in the game, and it's fair to say that Nahida lives up to the hype thanks to her incredible versatility with most of the Genshin Impact cast. Next we have Barbara. Well, Barbara may have the lowest base attack of all the Genshin Impact characters, but nobody can deny that she is an amazing healer. She can heal characters one by one using her elemental skill, or she can also heal the entire team at once with her elemental burst. So yeah, that's why I think she's an A tier character. Okay, so now we have Dori. Well, I would say that she's a fine support character, but unfortunately the current batch of Tenro characters don't do much for Dori. But we could see this change in the future, and right now I guess she is the C tier character. Next we have Candace. Well, I would say that she's a B tier character, as she's the first Hydropolam user featuring the unique ability to provide certain characters with Hydro infusions. But still, similar to most of the 4-star characters, Candace doesn't provide a party with enough support to make her a must-pick character, and that said, she is an B tier character for me. Next we have Arataki Ito. Okay, so now we have the leader of the Arataki gang, which is of course our Arataki Ito, the last Geo character we have seen till now. Well, Ito can deal huge amounts of damage when paired with the right party members, but the only thing that stops Ito from reaching the highest tier is his need for Geo characters. Your teams need to revolve entirely around Ito, and yeah, that's the reason he's not the SS tier character, but still he's a decent character, so I would rank him on the S tier. Next we have Diona. Well, to be honest, Diona is not that useful as a ranged damage dealer, but her cryo abilities can easily freeze several enemies at once, and she can also heal and create protective shields, so yeah, I would say that she's a B tier character. Next we have Goro. Again a B tier character, as Goro's abilities become stronger when you pair him with additional Geo members, providing huge buffs to characters like Ito, Zhongli and Albedo and all that. And yeah, if you're building a Geo team, then Goro is a must-pick character. Okay, now we have the cute librarian Lisa. Well, she has a higher base attack than the other 3 starting characters, and she has area attacks, and it's easy to maximize her electro damage output thanks to her catalyst, but still she is not the best, you know. She can be surpassed by many electro characters. That's why she's on the C tier. Next we have the Electro Archon Widen Shogun. Easily an SS tier character. She is easily one of the best battery and support character in Genshin Impact, and there are very few characters who can match her in terms of support. Next we have Noelle. Well, she is an extremely defensive Geo Claymore character, and to be honest, she is most useful for early game players thanks to her shield and healing abilities. While her healing ability is weak, it can do the job in absence of the better healer, and she is also an C tier character. Next we have Albedo. Well, Albedo is easily one of the best Geo character there is, and he's also one of the most handsome character there is. Well, jokes aside, his elemental abilities create Geo explosions with a large area of effect, which is definitely deals a lot of damage, and that's why I'm ranking Albedo in the S tier. Now we have Chonghyun. Well, Chonghyun is quite good as Claymore melee, but he truly shines as an area of effect cryo character. Well, thanks to a mere 12 seconds cooldown elemental burst, he can freeze and freeze again, and yeah, that's why I'm ranking him on the B tier. Next we have Coco Shinobu. Her big problem is that her abilities are all useful when being used as a support character, and she doesn't match the level of healers like Barbara, who can be obtained for free. And to make matters worse for Koki, she gains a buff for staying under 50% health, but this isn't helpful as she can't keep her health topped up, and for all those reasons I think she is an C tier character. Next we have Haiju. Well, to be honest, he is surprisingly dangerous when you use the best Haiju build alongside the best Haiju team comp to boost his damage. His flexibility to slot into teams games with ease makes him a great option for free-to-play users, and that's why I'm ranking him on the B tier. Next we have Eola, the highest damage dealer in Genshin Impact. Well, I guess I don't have to say much about her, as she is easily one of the best physical damage dealer in the entire game, and that's why I'm ranking her on the S tier. Next we have Faruzan. Faruzan works as a support character to buff elemental damage, though it comes at a high cost, but I will just say that unless you desperately want to play the strongest Zhao or the Wanderer team possible, you may want to avoid Faruzan, and that's the reason I ranked her on the C tier. Next we have Kaya, another beginner character. Well, he can fulfill the role of main DPS for the beginning Genshin Impact player, but he should be replaced as soon as possible, cause his ascension stats may give him a higher energy recharge, but Kaya's elemental abilities are not nearly as useful as those of other cryos. So yeah, that's why again a C tier character. Okay, now we have Yelan. So compared to a lot of other 5-star options, you don't have to invest a lot of time finding the perfect weapons and artifacts for Yelan. Utilize the best Yelan build to create an excellent sub DPS character, and yeah, she is easily an S tier character. Now we have Sucrose. Well, she can also absorb all pyro, electro, hydro and cryo elements with her burst, converting it to extra damage output. Sounds familiar, right? Sucrose is basically Venti but not as good, and that's why I'm ranking her on B tier. Next we have Yanfei. Now compared to other 4-star characters, Yanfei has the joint third highest base attack, tied with Rosaria. Well, pyro characters usually end up being strong due to elemental reactions, and that's why I'm ranking her on A tier. Okay, so now we have Xiangling. Well, to be honest, she may not be the highest damage dealer with just her polearm, but there's no denying that Xiangling is one of the best pyros in Genshin Impact. She enables a lot of team compositions to exist due to the strengths of her abilities, and please don't let this 4-star character fool you. She is really good. She is really very good. That's why she's an SS tier character in my opinion. Same goes for Yae Miko. She is also an SS tier character. She's also my personally favorite character. She can excel providing you also run an electro battery character. Next we have Kali, the free Dendro character. Well, she struggles to elevate teams to the next level. This is usually the case with 4-star characters, but what makes Kali worse than the average character is the Dendro Traveler is surprisingly powerful. Sure, you can acquire Kali for free, but you're going to have to work hard to deal as much damage as the Dendro Traveler can, and that's why she's an C tier character in my opinion. Next we have Tama. So similarly to the rest of the 4-star characters from Inazuma, Tama fits a niche role in very specific teams, and unfortunately Tama's shield isn't strong enough to compete with the best support character. That's why I ranked him on the A tier. And speaking of A tier, Wanderer also fits this tier, and he has a unique playstyle that is unlike any other character. Still, the Wanderer's damage seems to fall short of his competition, and that's why I think he's an A tier character. Next we have Alhaitham. Well, though he isn't as easy to play, Alhaitham's main source of damage comes from the Dendro mirrors, which can only be activated using his elemental skill. Now this makes Alhaitham difficult to play for the beginners, as you may be punished if you aren't fighting as optimally as possible, but as long as you can fight efficiently with Alhaitham, he is a great pick for Dendro characters, as he can provide the firepower you need to tackle in the deepest depth of the spiral abyss, and for all those reasons I think he's an S tier character. Next we have Ganyu. Now Ganyu has the unique ability different kind of cryo arrows with just her charge attacks, including one with AoE damage. Together with her powerful AoE elemental abilities, Ganyu is a top-notch SS tier character. Next we have Sino. Well, I will put him on the A tier, as using the best Sino build, you can beat the final spiral abyss floors without losing any of your characters. That being said, there are plenty of alternative options that can deal more damage than Sino, and that's why he's in A tier. Next we have Layla. Unlike Diona, who is also a cryo shielder, Layla's abilities allow her to deal damage while protecting characters with a shield. And though Layla can be useful in specific cryo teams, she needs to reach Constellation 3, which is why she's in C tier. Next we have Keqing. Keqing features incredibly high base stats, which makes her stand out against the other characters. She is just best in all categories, like in attack power, HP and defense. This makes her an amazing melee fight, but unfortunately she doesn't pair well with the other characters, but still I think she's a decent character and I would rank her on S tier. Next up we have Nelo, and well, she's capable of dishing out a lot of damage using the Bloom element reaction, but until more Dendro characters are released, the amount of teams you can create using these new characters is limited, and that's why I think she's a B tier character for now. And lastly we have Chao. Well, unlike most Hydro characters, child is capable of dealing high elemental damage, and he can easily set up Hydro Electro Cryo combo as well, making him useful in many ways, and that's why I think he is an S tier character. And here you have it guys, all the characters in Genshin Impact ranked on the tier list. If you agree or disagree on certain characters, please comment down below, and also subscribe our channel if you haven't for more Genshin content.